independent panel that investigates based upon that. How about we start there and see what that does? And number two is, let's start making bills smaller, making them come out of committees of jurisdiction, and that we actually expose them and what the pros and cons are, that everybody can understand and read them. How about we start there first? And who's going to benefit? Is it Florida? Is it Pennsylvania? Is it upstate New York that's going to benefit for an earmark? Oh, I'd love to have that. All of a sudden somebody in Arizona goes, what? You're going to spend $20 million for what project? But I think it has to be independent of Congress because they've shown that there's no ability to oversee themselves properly.
Yeah.
And I thought that was the purpose of our judicial system too. And Congress isn't above any law, or should not be above any law, although they have been. How about we get back to the basics? That's my start. I'm a simple person. Start there.
But there's also, I think the gentleman has a good point. There's also these groups like Acorn. I mean, you know, you could look at a list and probably make you ill, but there's all this money being funneled into all these groups that we have no idea if they're legitimate or not. That's something else that I'm concerned about. You know, where's that money going, and can we get it back? I mean, because I think a lot of it's probably wasted in a big way. So.
Well, I'll give you a quick example right on in your own district where you can start asking and start really putting some pressure on it. Who's familiar with the mural down that caused a TV host to get fired down in Prescott? Okay, you have a homework assignment. You have to go down to visit now one of your communities in Prescott. There was a big mural that was built with transportation money, right? Federal transportation money. And it was paid for along with showing the diversity of Prescott. There you go, that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking. Do you know, there was a comment by a radio show host that says that doesn't reflect the diversity in Arizona, in Prescott specifically. He was fired. A gentleman was called in Florida, same race as the president, okay, and said, we got a problem here. He has a Wholesome Bakery distributorship or something like that, okay? What do you call it when you get a bunch of franchise? Thank you very much. Do you know he was forced to sell that franchise? He was forced to sell that franchise because of that comment. Because your tax dollars were up on a mural. And guess what? It didn't follow any of the rules that the rest of the contractors, I found out. The people who did this didn't even follow any of the rules within the city. And they're now investigating where the money came from. And additional money that came, my understanding, from different other groups, could be Acorn. You know what? Make people accountable on that local level. Let's get after it. Just like Joy was talking about, can we do something when they were going to take on and sue the state government and join in against 1070, our local city council? Well, let's go find out. I don't have all those answers, folks. I've been raising a family. I've been very involved in my profession and that. But many hands make light work. And when you share that information, it becomes magic. I found something, something else. Oh, wow, we're on to something. But hold their feet to the fire. That's where we have to start. We can only do what we can do here in the local turf. Start there. Make my community better, one person at a time. That's all I know. Yes, sir.
You mentioned making bills smaller.
Yep.
That's a pet peeve of mine. You cannot have a 2,000 or 2,500 page bill that makes any sense. It has to be written by the committee of the staff, the Congress people. The congressmen don't understand it themselves. They can't possibly. That's like trying to understand about 5 or 6 books of an encyclopedia and put it all together. Bills should be, at the most, a few hundred pages. I mean, if you go more than a few hundred pages, you're turning the execution of the law over to the administrators in the bureaucracy, because they write the rules that enforce those laws that are written. And if you can't understand the law, they can write whatever they want.
And they did. And you know what? You still don't even know what's in that bill.
No.
Because it has the discretion of the Secretary. We're talking about the health care bill. It still has the discretion of the Secretary of Health and Human Services to what they want to apply into that bill.
Nancy Pelosi said
But
we have to pass it to know what's in it.
Right.
I can hardly wait to tell Nancy Pelosi, hell no.
Continued to write it after it was voted on.
It's exactly right. But you know what? How many parliamentary procedures did we violate? Let me ask you the next question. Where was the leadership of either side of the party standing up and saying no, no, no? It wasn't there all the way around. And you know what that is? That's shame on every single one of us for not holding their feet to the fire.
We tried.
We can try, but now we're going to get a better movement. Now we've got a better idea. Now we have to reassemble and get this back and make them accountable. Yes?
I think Roger's getting
Oh,
there.
sorry.
Wrap it up.
Okay. Folks, I'm Dr. Paul Gosar, and as you can tell, I get wrapped up in the things I do. Okay? I like people. I love people. I like talking to people. I won't hide behind a phone. I can tell you if the health care bill was in my pocket, I'd invited you to 5 big barbecues. I said, come one, come all, we'll have kids being taken care of. And I demand my staff and other staff from other congressional offices to explain that bill to you so you understand. That's called communication the old-fashioned way. My grandmother was a master chef, my mom was a master chef, and I've learned that if you feed people, they understand much better. Because good decisions happen at the dinner table. Okay? But it's about you and what you want and how you want to get your country back. I think what you've got started here, and I've talked to a lot of tea parties, you're ahead of the ball game. It's time to keep going to the next level. Take on this city. I think you can convert this to a Republican and not Berkeley East. I'm a big dreamer, but you know what? You can do it.
Thanks to the Second Amendment, we might be able to.
That's right. But you can do it. And who are you not to believe that you're not part of that solution? Because it may be you who has that key. I've seen it over and over, folks. I'm 51 years old, and the more I say it can't happen, it does. And this election is not about me, it's about we. And once we've got that, we can come to some solutions. Together we can do it. Together we can make this happen. And like I said before, if you want to send Dan packing, I'm your guy.
Let's give Dr. Gosar a round of applause.
You can also